there's somebody talking to you. Or is he talking to himself? You hear a deep, spacey voice with pondering pauses in a Louisiana accent.
There's this trick,
the voice says.
That's the devil out there making you believe that or feel that. That's Satan, baby. That's Lucifer, bruh. That's Lucifer, that darkness sniffer.
Your whole life it goes on.
And they think the whole life you think, oh, I'll just keep judging and keeping people at a distance. But guess what? There's this thing in the distance making you think, oh, that you win somehow, that I win somehow by doing that. I'm not saying you, I'm saying me. But then I get to the end of my life and I'll realize, you know what? I didn't win anything by doing that. That was a trick. And the only thing I won was being alone.
Though not an official preacher, Theo Von delves into the spiritual realm through his comedy podcast. While billed as a comedian, Von often guides his listeners into that biblical light, into that hell chasm, and the soul in its solitude, in the benevolent rays of the divine. As he puts it,
the Lord lurks where the devil jerks, baby.
Von even entertains the idea of landing in an interview with the devil himself. That darkness sniffer, as he puts it. You know, the snorter of lines of uncut night. Von's This Past Weekend is currently the 8th most popular podcast in America, sandwiched between the well-known shows This American Life and The Ben Shapiro Show. The undisputed #1 podcast is The Joe Rogan Experience, where the host engages in lengthy, freewheeling discussions, often while smoking cigars and floating unorthodox theories. Von has been a guest on Rogan's show numerous times, and his own podcast This Past Weekend shares a similar vibe of masculinity and unfiltered speech. It taps into the same world of controversial figures like canceled professors, hungover comedians, supplement salesmen, mystical thinkers, neuroscientists, and even MMA fighters. In that sense, This Past Weekend is very much a part of the Rogan podcast ecosystem. Theo Von, a 44-year-old comedian, took a unique path to success. Growing up in Compton, Louisiana, he gained experience through multiple seasons of MTV's reality series, Road Rules, as well as its spin-offs, various acting roles, hosting an online TV recap show, a hidden camera show, and extensive stand-up comedy, including an appearance on Last Comic Standing. This diverse background allowed him to develop and refine his persona over time. However, Von acknowledges that he once tried to suppress his authentic Louisiana accent, believing it would help him fit in, as he told Kevin Nealon on the YouTube show Hiking with Kevin in 2019. That was the devil's decoy right there. Now comfortable in his own skin, Von's affable, slightly surreal stage presence seems to have evolved naturally. The Joe Rogan Experience differs from This Past Weekend in several key ways. For one, Von interviews a diverse array of regular people, a mortician, a plumber, even a female truck driver, rather than just a high-profile guest. Additionally, Von's conversations and monologues are infused with a unique spirituality that blends the gospels of AA and his Southern Christian upbringing. He even responds directly to calls from struggling alcoholics and those worried about friends' meth use, offering them thoughtful advice and, more importantly, a powerful sense of camaraderie. As he pointedly expresses,
man, I know that tiredness, brother. I'm tired of feeling alone. I'm tired of also not even being there for myself. I mean, that's the loneliest, bro, when you don't even have yourself.
Von's brain operates in a unique way. He muses beat officially, experiencing small, vivid vision. Describing the experience of listening to him riff is challenging, as it's both fast and slow. You get caught in a stoner-like revelation, though brilliant flashes of poetic insight dart around at breakneck speed. As Von puts it,
it feels like somebody in the fucking great beyond pressed a fucking doorbell that you didn't know was connected to you.
This is how he describes the feeling of being tasered. And DMT?
It's like God hit you with a mirror, but he hit you hard and he hit you fast. And the cops showed up.
Now, we've all been on this Theo Von journey, but his 2 Netflix comedy specials, Regular People and No Offense, left us cold. Stalking the stage with twangy stand-up energy, he overdid his accent and made jokes about Denny's waitresses being ugly, which at the end of the day, just really wasn't that funny. The deeper I dove into This Past Weekend, the clearer Theo Von's hazy, backwoods conservatism became a conservatism that occasionally sharpens into early onset Trumpism. Von's podcast features a range of guests, many of which have concerning discerning views. From Tucker Carlson, who's often considered a Putin ally, to Jordan Peterson, who layman's a loss of national pride. He even tells rapper Logic that a lot of men out there are gay, not because they want to be, it's because all the straightness got jerked out of them over time by looking at pornography. This prompted a shocked reaction from Logic. UFC President Dana White discussing his friendship with Donald Trump, and there's endless jokes about homeless people that veer into potentially racist territory. Faced with this, we concluded that Theo Von is a mouthpiece for reactionary ideologies. Von's speculations exist in a weightless, comedic space, a Trumpy, carnivalesque realm that's semi-appealing and in poor taste, reflecting the current state of affairs. The joke has hollowed us out, leaving behind a damaged thought process and whirling daydreams. And a bit reminiscent of an early George Sanders story, Von ponders a dystopian future where Uber drivers must hold each other at gunpoint in order to get fares.
Do you feel like we could really end up in our lifetime as heading to a revolution or some sort of a like a place where where it all topples over?
The baseline of Von's humor is catastrophic or post-catastrophic, as if the crack up has already happened and all that remains are these darkly comedic one-liners. Interviewing Wayne Owen, a retired sanitation worker from Staten Island, Von becomes fixated on the Fresh Kills landfill, a once sprawling dump that closed in 2001 and is now a greened-over nature preserve. Von is particularly intrigued by the official tasked with controlling the local deer population.
So they're doing animal vasectomy out there on the landfill.
He asks as his voice tinged with wonder. You can practically hear the gears turning in his head. The fate chiming of comedy beginning to take shape. Theo Von poetry in the making.
That fucking nut Grinch, he just rolls up on him, huh? That's fucking unreal, bro.
Yeah, man, dude's
That fucking sperm Dexter, that dude's out there fucking clipping bucks, bro.
Von's recent 2-hour improv session with comedian Tim Dillon was brutally hilarious and left listeners in stitches. The sheer audacity and comedic brilliance of the exchange was completely overwhelming. Theo Von is a complex, multifaceted figure. Mentally, he occupies his own unique space, yet his powers of connection are considerable, and people readily open up to him. His future remains uncertain, poised between two divergent paths. In one, he could cynically pander to right-winged audiences with his non-woke comedy, sacrificing his integrity for cheap laughs. Alternatively, he could harness the loyalty of his eccentric fan base, friends, seekers, truthers, strugglers, and use his voice to lead them to a new, uncharted creative territory, offering a pathway to healing and enlightenment. The choice before Von is a pivotal one, with profound implications for both himself and his audience. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure y'all check back in again next time. Pressure House Media, we out.
Ay, all these diamonds look like water. Bitch, I'm swimming, Michael Phelps. Smoking good, but still professional. Some like Michael Phelps. All they gold around my knee. Bitch, I look like Michael Phelps. See, this pussy got this wet for you. You know just how I felt. I'm Michael Phelps. Bitch, I'm Michael Phelps. Swimming in